Good morning, I'm Sharaad Kuttan. Welcome to BFM's Morning Headlines. This is the 6th of November. We start with the sun. Now look, get to work, according to the Prime Minister. Well, actually, he's speaking not in his capacity as Prime Minister, but the party president. And this exhortation to work is to his party, not the rest of us. So I'm wondering why it's on the front page. And I'm wondering why newspapers just take what politicians say and plaster it on the front page without sort of mediating a little bit. And there's a lot of that going on today. One of my old professors would say there's something particularly naive about politicians who engage in this kind of exhortation. So that's the word of the day, exhortation, which means emphatically urging somebody else to do something. Okay, stop the lies! More demands and commands coming out of the front pages of the Malay Mail. This time, what we learn is much of the president's speech, that is Najib of UMNO, is about Anwar Ibrahim, his arch nemesis, and so much of it is negative. And there you have more punching in the air, stop the lies. It's a bit utusan today, Malay Mail. I'm very disappointed. Berita Harian gives you a clear outline of the speech in terms of what good things UMNO has done for the nation and what bad things the political opposition has done. So again, fist in the air, except that here he's in the air looking down at the people who are suffering from the floods with deep concern. So the Star has a high five for the polls. High five actually refers to 5 KPIs for the party, including mastering ICT and carrying out a cardership program. More pictures of floods there. Now, the flood story can be a little bewildering because it seems like every day would be the same headline, except if you're clever like Sina Harian is, and they mention this very important fact that food supplies are running short in Kemaman in Pahang. So that's a report that's getting a little more granular, a little more interesting as a hook. I like the front page of this. More generic on the new Strait Times, and in this, interestingly enough, for an UMNO paper, the New Strait Times is a lot more subdued in the way it headlines Najib's speech. Curious. One thing that does redeem the Malay Mail today is on page 15. It's a comment by Tunku Abdul Mukris, and he says paying for service. And this is all about the debate that we've been having on the front pages about the salary increase for assemblymen in Selangor. Now, Mukris does very importantly, he contextualizes the changing discourse, at least within the Westminster system, about remuneration for elected officials. An intelligent, informed response to what's become a rather hysterical debate. So if you have to read something today, this is it, I think. Other questions that are being raised in our dailies come from the Edge Financial Daily today. Government should stay out of water business, because this is coming from somebody with a vested interest in having the water in private hands. I think this is a long-term debate. There are pros and cons to whether government or private sector is involved. And it's not simply a question of first principles, government should be involved in business. The question, it's water, and water is a curious kind of business. Lastly, we have Harian Metro, always a source of amusement for me. Sometimes it gets you thinking about things. Here's an interesting story about land, a family that's refusing to sell what is potentially very valuable property in Segambut. And one of my favorite pictures of the day, it's been repeated in other newspapers, but this wonderful couple defying the floods to get married, and check out the turban, or sarban as it's called, on that young man. Very cool. Clearly, one story that is big but does not appear on the front pages of our newspapers this morning is the death of Nelson Mandela. It happened too late in the night for the newspapers to capture that, but I imagine you can catch their take on his death on their online versions. And today BFM's got several tributes to the man, starting at 11:30 on Enterprise, 3 o'clock on Bigger Picture, and between 5 and 6:30 on the evening edition. So stay tuned to our Nelson Mandela tributes. That's all I have for you this morning on BFM's Morning Headlines. I'm Sharaad Kuttan for BFM 89.9.